Happy Saturday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Daily, where we transform our inner experience to phenomenal outer experience. For now, 10 minutes of our day, we do it together. Before we jump into today's message, which I think is going to be a great topic, really sensitive topic, let's take a couple deep breaths to move the energy around, open up our wavelengths, release some tension if we have any. That way we can be ready to receive. All right, follow me in these deep breathing techniques. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Woo! How are you, lovies? Say hi, say hello, drop a comments down below. If you're new to me, welcome. My name's Lisa Puerto, also known as Super Agent, on all your social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at LA Super Agent. If you're a YouTuber, please check out the YouTube channel. I definitely have a couple playlists, including my featured show, Ready, Set, Real Estate, which we're doing amazing things over there. Free real estate content, and I've even included a couple webinars on the show as well. So make sure you tune into that. Also, I'm doing a home and love ownership webinar. So this is really a mature audience only, because I'm really going in raw, uncut, sensitive topic on how adding Bay to your real estate purchase affects your future. Because I've seen it all, I've heard it all. And when things don't work out, you end up being stuck, upset, mad, and now we just got to deal with what's happened. So little mature conversation there, just so that we have a FYI. What else? Please turn on the notifications, that way you don't miss any new episodes as I upload them. And if you're a radio podcast listener, please check out my radio podcast. Also, keyword LA Super Agent or Ready, Set, Real Estate. It'll pop right up on any of the radio podcast platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Anchor Breaker, Castbox. And if you're listening to a podcast platform where we're not on, please let me know. That way I can make sure we get the show on there as well. All right, we are continuing our series from Dean Del Sesto's Shift Your Thinking, 200 Ways to Improve Our Life, and you guessed it, 200 ways in this book, which means at the completion of our series, we will have 200 episodes. These are all bonuses, by the way, on the channel. I'm huge on personal development, because real estate is that. Real estate is an aspect of your life that you are professionally, personally developing, adding to your wealth, adding to your ambitions, adding to your discipline, adding to your behaviors. And that's, real estate is a reflection of that. And so, and it's just good to know, let me just say this, because I just finished a mini presentation at a local block club. And one of the things that I really implore on people, it's just good to know in terms of real estate literacy. I mean, you may not desire to be a homeowner, and that's fine, but when you're more literate about what's involved, and you can take that information back to your tribe and empower them and educate them. It's perfectly fine if it's not for you, but I'd rather you make that decision based on knowing versus not knowing. Okay, that's always going to be my stance. Real estate literacy, where you're educated, you now know, versus you didn't know. All right, get off my soapbox. It's the light and fun stuff. However, today's topic, it's pretty heavy. I'm captioning this funerals. Episode 123, funerals. I'm in the section where he says, funerals, just one more evaluation of how we lived our life. Okay, I can go in on this, especially because me documenting my shows and anything I share online is really me time stamping my life for my children and my children to come, and anybody else behind them. And I covered this once before, that I live like, I think I called that episode Live live life in the end. And that's what I do. I'm living out my epitaph. What do I want my epitaph to read? I'm living that out now. I don't have any regrets. There are things that I've experienced. Like I said, that, going through life and experiencing all aspects of it, and then realizing what I share with you is really puts things into perspective in terms of my life journey, which means none of it was in vain, because now it becomes a story and a lesson that I can share, you can learn from, and you can also feel like you're not alone. You're not alone. So I'm getting into this. The author says, sometimes it's the rest in peace that reveals whether we've done A-OK. So imagine that. RIP is dictating whether we've done A-OK. He says, throughout life, we will experience multiple measures of how well we did personally and professionally. Although a bit morbid, yet true, one measure of the impact we made during our lifetime will be found after life ends in how many people show up at our funeral and the way those who attend participate. Interesting. He says to pull people away from their busy schedules to pay their respects and show support is a true indication of our life influence and impact, even as we lay in the casket, urn, or memory. Oh, drop in the comments below, life impact. Life impact. Drop in the comments below, life impact. Also, please press 1 if you've had anyone that you've known that recently transitioned, and you continue to pay homage and honor and respect to your ancestors. Please press 1, because your ancestors continue to live on through you. I think that's one of the phenomenal things that I think Disney did with Coco. I absolutely am enamored with that movie. And my son and I watch that over and over. And I talk about what I want my son to do in terms of honoring me when I cross over. He knows what my foods are. He knows to set up the altar. He knows to burn the candle and all these stuff. And he's 8 now. But we're having this conversation now because it's important. We know that's just a fact of life, as you will transition, and you will forever live in the spiritual realm. However, our ancestors don't live forever if we are not calling on their names. Drop in the comments below, call on their names. If you have any ancestors that have passed on, you can please type their name below, and definitely we will honor that person, because that now becomes your spiritual tribe. Is that person that has crossed over, and they are now your guide in that realm. He says it's one of many indicators that reveal a person's reach, influence, and value during their time on earth. And you hear that? Really hone in on that. Time on earth, on Earth, in this galaxy. I always think that's funny, that how dare we think. I think that's that the human mind, to a certain degree. There's some of us that kind of have experienced different things. Like myself, I've had certain experiences with the spiritual realm as early as 11, and I've honed in on those gifts as the older I got and the more I started to understand my connection, the more I tap into that. I use that all the time in business. That has been a guiding post that has protected me throughout moving in life. There are things that I've experienced that I know that if I haven't leaned on, called on that ancestral support, I'd be completely lost, truth be told. He says, but few people ever carry their thoughts out that far to consider what exactly it is that I leave behind when I leave this place, and what memories and impact will live on in the hearts and minds of those I knew. He says some people leave this planet with their financial affairs a mess, and some even leave debt behind for others to pay. Some leave a trail of broken relationships that create painful memories and a host of lifelong questions marked for the survivors. He says the legacy, drop in the comments below, the legacy we leave at passing is one that is rarely considered, but it would benefit us and those within our care and influence to look at what we are leaving behind. He says it's not abnormal, but as we get older and attend more funerals, we'll probably get curious from time to time about how many people will come to our funeral. So think about that. What is